morning, guys. I am Patty Elhoff, the author of Upcycle with Decoupage, and I'm going to show you how to do another jar upcycle. This one will be for Easter or springtime, and I'll show you the vase that I completed. And these are the supplies that we'll need for this project. Wrapping paper, and you're going to need a jar. I'll be working with her pansy pattern today for springtime. We're going to need tissue paper. We're also going to need Mod Podge and the Mod Podge top coat. The reason that I'm using Mod Podge as opposed to a different decoupage glue is because I want to use the spray-on top coat, and I'd rather just keep the products consistent. And then I'm also going to be using some glitters, different colored glitters. You also need decoupage scissors. The other thing you'll need, by the way, are a couple of sponge brushes. You'll want to tear some smaller pieces because we may have a few spots that we want to fill in. The next thing you would want to do after you tear your strips of tissue paper is cut out your flowers. So you want to cut out as many of those as you'll be using beforehand and place them around your jar just to see how many you'll need or where you want them before we start to decoupage. These tissue papers can also be cut. I just happen to like a more organic look. For right now, I'm not going to worry about this area right here. We're just going to get the paper onto this area, the tissue paper. And I'm going to be overlapping a lot here, so I'm going to put a little more Mod Podge on the original piece, and I'm just going to complete this all around the jar. I'm going to use the brush to go around this. It depends on your personal preference. You can use your fingers or the sponge brush. I think the brush goes a bit quicker, and it's definitely better for your manicure. The oven's cold. I'm putting this in. I'm going to stand it up so that it's upside down on a piece of aluminum foil. I'm going to set the oven for 175. When the oven dings, the timer dings to let me know it's 175. I'll turn the oven off, but I'm going to leave this in there. And this portion will probably take about a half an hour, just keeping it inside the oven. The jar is now dry. I took it out of the oven, let it cool down a little bit. And you can see it's got some very sheer spots and some spots that have a little bit more yellow. And the reason we have the shallow dish of water and a lint-free cloth nearby is because if you're using the wrapping paper, you're going to want to take the flowers you cut out and dip them in the water. You submerge them completely, then you blot them on the towel. Now I'm using these flowers from Blackberry Designs, and because it's a very light paper, I don't need to do that with this. And what I'm going to do is circle the whole jar with a line of these flowers. Now once this is dry, we're going to add one more coat of decoupage glue, let it dry. Then I'm going to spray the top coat on it and I'm going to add glitter. So now I'm outside and I'm going to add the spray top coat and the glitter. So there are two very different looks for tissue paper on glass. That's the one I just showed you how to do with the yellow tissue paper and some pansies. All I did was added a ribbon to it and a silk flower. And there's the vase that I made using wrapping paper over lavender. And those are some homemade flowers that I made out of coffee filters and a little bit of paint. And there you have it. Thank you so much for subscribing. That really helps me out. Feel free, again, to ask me any questions, and I'll be back next week with another video. Bye.